here's a homestead tour as to what is current right now. So right now I have 8 chickens, my cats, and I also have 7 guinea pigs. If you know me, you know that I've rescued a whole bunch of guinea pigs last year, and then I had a major dog attack, which killed the majority of my guinea pigs, but I've taken in some more. Pregnant, we had babies, and so there was 9 babies in total out of the 3 mamas, and there's only 1 little baby left that I need to rehome. Here's my mini homestead. So I have 600 square meters, and I'm doing quite a lot on it. It's been raining for months, like 2 months at the moment, so I don't really get time to mow my grass when it's wet, so I've just been moving around my guinea pigs twice a day so that they can kind of eat away my grass, and my mower's also broken, so that's fun. We have Hermione, we have Chip and Snowball and Boo, and who else is hiding under it? The little baby that I need to rehome is also under there. Over in this corner, we'll just go through this. So this is my giant basil plant. I planted this when I moved in here about 2.5 years ago. I need to trim all the dead flowers off it, but it gets at least like 6 or 7 different types of bees on it during spring and summer and even winter. So they really love this. When I moved in about 2.5 years ago, I think it was that big when I planted it. So it's taller than me now, but I am also only 5'2". And the praying mantises absolutely love this. We always find them on it. We have these 2 massive pots. These are just some sunflowers that have come up from the guinea pig's food, and I transplanted them into here. We also have a candy cane capsicum in here. I think I harvested 3 of them last week. It's done amazing. It's only been planted in here for about a month and a half, and it's grown double in size. And then right next to it, we also have just a normal purple eggplant. The last ones I had were white, and people found them really funny looking. Here's my red papaya. So these 3 at the bottom are ones that came up, I think, at the start of the year. I'm assuming they're probably gonna change color next year sometime. And then we have these other ones which are a lot bigger, which have come up in the last 2-3 months. And then we have, this is the only passion fruit vine that I've actually planted, where we have 3 others that came up by themselves. So this is a yellow passion fruit. And then all up in here, we have a whole bunch of Queen of Anne's lace, a whole bunch of cosmos, dill. There were some marigolds that came up, coriander. I need to come through and collect all of the seeds. I've been doing that about every 2nd or 3rd day, and I have so many. And then we have, what else do we have in here? We have buckwheat that's hiding, and whatever these are, I'm not too sure. I think there was also a few cucumbers in here somewhere. I don't know if they've actually come up or not. And I think there's also a couple tomato plants, like there's one back there. I definitely need to weed in here, but not really my top priority. And then over here we have another passion fruit. This is a red passion fruit. This is one of the ones that came up by itself. So I pruned both of these about 2 months ago because they didn't have any trellis, and then I trellised them at the start of this year, and it was just a little bit chaotic. So I just decided to restart over. I got about 8 fruit off this one, which was, I think this is its 3rd year, closing on its 3rd year of being here, so just starting to get fruit out of the yellow one. Got more cosmos. Next spring, I'm wanting to plant this all out with foxglove, more cosmos. I have about 4 or 5 different cosmos seeds that I bought, Queen of Anne's lace, and then I also want to put snapdragons and poppies in here because I think that'll be a really beautiful mix in here. And we also have, of course, these dill flowers. I definitely need to pick some of the dill before it goes so that I can dry it and put it in food. Here we have another random Queen of Anne's lace, which got too heavy and it snapped off with the string that I tied it up. This was free. That was free. That was council throw out. So is this. I've had this for a few years now. Also council throw out. And then these 2 little play sets were from a daycare that was getting rid of them. And then we have random garlic chives, a whole bunch of turmeric that is coming up that I've replanted. I have a lot more that I need to plant. So this year I gave about a kilo of it to my food like outlet near me that's slash like a church. And so I have a lot. I know that I'm going to have probably be giving them at least like 5 kilos of turmeric come next year. So they'll really love that. And yeah, this is another passion fruit that came up by itself. I definitely need to make, because the wire only comes up to here, so I need to extend it over so that I can trellis this along the retaining wall. So this is another red one. And then we have a red globe grape. I was wanting a green one. The only green one that they had looked really, really sick though, so I'm going with the red one. Once I find an actual good looking green one, then I'll also get one of those. So this I planted, I believe, in June. So it's the end of November now, which is the end of spring in Australia. More Queen of Anne's lace, there's a lot of that. More turmeric, which is coming up. I planted it through that whole thing from there all the way through up to here, so I should get quite a lot out. And then we have these, I believe they're called seaside daisies. So my mum gave me these. These used to grow in my childhood home, and she's since put them where she lives and has given me some. As you can tell, they're growing through my fence into my neighbor's house. I don't imagine she's too worried about that, because it doesn't look like she's cutting it at all. So I do normally try and rake them through, but yeah, some of them just escape. So yeah, I'm going to be planting a whole bunch of dahlias through this, and this will kind of act as a weed barrier. As you can tell, it isn't letting anything through, which is really, really good, because I'm constantly having to weed this retaining wall. We have catnip, which I planted about 3 years back from seed, and it's huge, so I'm constantly giving that to people. And then we have rue. I think this one's dongquai. I'm not quite too sure. It looks like celery, but it's not. And then we have another dahlia. I think this one has dark purpley red flowers. And then we have another dahlia here. And some tansy. This is something else that I planted from seed. It's just starting to form its little flower bulbs. These are everywhere. The tansy goes everywhere. I'm needing to weed all of this, and there's a whole bunch of sunflowers that have come up from when I had the guinea pigs here with Queen of Anne's lace. So I'll insert a photo here of what it actually looks like in its glory. It got taller than this as well. Normally only grow like 40-50 centimeters tall, but this one's like 6 foot tall. That's behind me. Jerusalem artichoke, so there's 3 of them in here. There's also cucamelons, because this used to be a cucamelon bed and I didn't pull out all of the rhizomes in it. And there's also a whole bunch of zucchini, but as you can tell, they only ever came up with male flowers, so I've never gotten anything. I'm going to pull them out because they're getting powdery mildew. And then we have another dahlia, cutest little bonsai that I was given. And then we also have another dahlia here. I believe these 2 are new ones that I bought maybe in June or July. Insane radish plant, which never grew but has decided to give me 400 seeds. I'm just waiting for them to all harden so that I can harvest them. They come up with little purple flowers, I think they were. So these are from my nan's, and so I've just thrown these in here. And there's another one of these seaside daisies in here as well from my mum. A choco, which I literally just grew from one at the store. So it's been in here for about a week and a half now, and it's definitely grown a lot, but I need to trellis it up to my retaining wall again. You have my friendly koala, so I move this around every like week or 2, or when I actually remember. Sometimes it's like every 2 months, so that my kids think it's moving around the property, and I always put it in new spots and new trees. With these trees, I have a fuchsia plant. I know they say that they like full sun, but I had one of these in my childhood home and it grew in the shade and it was fine, so I knew that it'd be fine under here. And I'm just gonna eventually trellis it around this. This is just an old sink. This used to be in my laundry. before it was renovated. I've ripped it out because it's so long. It's just so unnecessary. And so this is turned into kind of like a compost pile / worm farm. So whenever it rains and whatever the worms do, it all falls down into the bottom into an unused cat tray. Just put that on the garden, and so my makeshift compost worm farm type thing here. Over here we have, these are strawberry daisies. We have little pansies in here. And then we also have a lavender, foxglove. I believe this one's a yellow dahlia. And I'm not too sure what these are, but they look like little snapdragons. They're absolutely precious. And then we also have one of these. And lastly, we have this garden bed. So this is a new one that I made about 2 months ago from a tree that had to be cut down. So we have, I can't remember what they're called, they're the round zucchinis. There's about 9 of these plants in here. Only 3 came up. So I put some new ones in because none of the onions or leeks that I put in came up. So there's a lot of extra space. I think it's just a little bit too warm. Right now for them we have 5 glass gem corn in here, and then we also have 3 different types of beetroot. We have the yellow beetroots, we have the bull's blood, and then there's also those beetroots with like the candy cane stripes in them. And then we do also have 3 cosmos in here as well. So eventually this whole space is just going to all be garden beds, and I'm planning on getting mushroom plugs so that I can drill into some of these logs that I have and colonize them with mushrooms. In this potted section we have a strawberry. This definitely needs a new pot. It's not very happy. Neither is these lavender. Something's eating this. But we have Turkish fig here. It's so much happier now that I moved it about 2 months ago. And we also have this pomegranate too, which again is so much happier since it's been moved out of the ground. And we also have this very, very sad blueberry plant, because I mean, my gardening style is if you live, you live. Lychee here. Cannot remember what type of lychee it is. It's the end of spring now, so it's only just getting its growth back. Rest of grass. I also have an apple tree. So it's a golden Dorset apple. So it's meant to be okay for warm climates. It's definitely grown a lot. Hasn't, I think it's been here for maybe like 6 to 8 months. It has flowered a couple times, but obviously no fruit on it. I have this peach tree which keeps flowering. This is its 5th year. I had it in a pot for 2 years before I moved here. I got 3 peaches off it before I moved, but ever since I've moved here, it's never had any fruit on it. It's just because, like, I don't really water my plants, as you can probably tell. So every single time that it flowers and it gets fruit, it's just too dry, so it doesn't keep the fruit, and I tend to kind of like knock off the smaller ones anyway, so that it tries to like preserve its energy, and I'm constantly pruning it, which is why it's so bushy. I can't show you the whole tree because it'll show you my neighbors' houses and that. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe next year is the lucky year for getting more yellow peaches off this. I was not expecting this to have flowered. Oh my god, aren't these precious? Look at them. That's so precious. This is it a feijoa? That's probably pronounced really wrong. It's like a New Zealand native fruit, I'm pretty sure. Had a few times in store, they're amazing, but they're like $1 each, and I'm not paying that. But look how beautiful these flowers are. You come over to here, and this is going to be my new chicken area. I need to fix this cage because it's still a little bit destroyed from when my fence and the dog attacked, so there's still like a hole from when they tore apart my fence and dug under the old guinea pig cage that used to be here, and there's still holes in the wire and that. But I'm going to put a few more branches in here so they can properly roost in it and level it out, and obviously fix the wire and all that. But yeah, there's 2 little nest boxes in here. There's some little roosts in here as well. So this is going to be their nighttime cage. And then I'm going to fence off this whole area so that they can just roam around down here. And there's also 2 little banana trees in here. They're both dwarf Cavendish. I do know that they will eat them. My last chickens did it too, but I'm not too worried about that. I have 8 chickens at the moment as well. They're just in my spare room. So I'm in the midst of trying to clean it out so that I can turn it into a spare bedroom. But these are all my sheets and that. I just need to get tubs to put them somewhere else because they want one of these shelves. Well, my partner, he drove an hour one way, so 2 hours in total, just to come get these chickens. We do have chickens closer. He doesn't live with me though. But yeah, I do have chickens closer, but I wanted ones with rainbow eggs. And so I didn't want to have to get them from all different places, risk contamination. So first up, I have these two. I'm pretty sure this one's a rooster. This one may be a female, just due to the color and size difference in their legs. So these ones are either olive eggers or Easter eggers. So they're going to be those like greeny colors. I'm pretty sure this one's a female. Next, I have these. These are believed to be Welsh summer chickens. They're being so noisy right now. Again, I'm pretty sure this one's a male and this one being a female. So these are going to have the creamy colored eggs with the brown spots on them. So they're going to have spotty eggs. This one's name is Honey Sweet. Hoping I can at least keep one rooster. That would be really amazing. But I'm going to have to see if the crow collars actually work. I know some people are against that, but I'd really love to be able to keep at least one rooster. So all of these chickens were $10 each apart from my cream leg bar, because cream leg bar are auto-sex chickens. So she was $25 and she's going to have my blue eggs. They're about 3.5 weeks old at the moment. So I have 3 females and 2 males that I know of. The next 3 that I'm about to show you, I have absolutely no idea what they are. So if you know what they are, please let me know. One is a Moran. This is a Math Moran cross of some sort. She had 3 different Moran roosters. Why are you being so noisy? But this one is super slow to feather and it still doesn't have any tail feathers at 3.5 weeks old. So she has 8 different roosters. It could be a cross between something else. It also has 1 little white feather. And its little wing feathers, again, are very, very small. So I'm not too sure as to what this one is. But if it ends up being a girl, I'm hoping that it will in fact have those deep red eggs. Next 2 I accidentally ended up with. She didn't message me until I got home. She's like, by the way, I'm really sorry, but my daughter put 2 Peking chickens in the brooder. So these 2 next ones just happen to be those 2 Peking chickens that she put in. She did offer to refund me, which was very, very lovely, but I wasn't going to accept that. I already had the chickens anyways. There was no point in her refunding me. First off, we have this one. This one is very, very slow to feather. It's only just in the last 2 days started to get tail feathers, which is over 3 weeks, and very, very slow to feather on the wings. But its wings are starting to turn that silver color, so I'm really hoping that it'll be that lavender chicken, because I really want one of those. And the next one this is the last chicken, so it has super fluffy feet, as you can tell. Super fluffy feet, and it was very, very quick to feather as well. But again, I have no idea what this one's going to look like when it's older, because obviously it's not what I was expecting. So yeah, we have this little one. So that concludes the current homestead tour. It's definitely changed a lot in these past couple of years. But it's getting better, getting closer to what I actually want it to look like. And hopefully by mid to end of next year, it'll be looking even better with more stuff happening. But yeah, let me know what you want to see.